Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 4th iteration of Suggestion Sunday, where you, the Patreon, suggest a game for me to play every Sunday. As you can see, we are playing Monster Hunter World this week, and I am very excited. So right off the bat, what we're looking at here is the bounty system, where you can pick up a bunch of side missions. Like, these are all side mission hunts you can go on. And you unlock these by finding traces of the monster out in the wild. And as you can see, these are bounties. These are how you get what are called armor spheres to upgrade your gear. Well, that's a way of getting them. Now, as you can see on this one, there's 3 question marks right there. It's because I have not discovered that monster yet. I'm not actually all that far into Monster Hunter overall, but I will say without a doubt that I would absolutely recommend this game. So right now we're gonna go ahead and head on up to one of the places I spend the most time in. By the way, I should mention this is Astera, the home hub city, basically. Should have mentioned that at the start. Welcome to the Forge. You're going to be spending a lot of time here. I really love the background. This game is fantastic overall, I would say. So first of all, as you can see here, there's a bunch of different types of weapons, but that's not exactly what we're here to look at. We're here to look at the upgrades for said weapons. Now, this is just the upgrade tree for the heavy bowgun. There are in total, trying to think, 11... There's great swords, there's long swords, there's dual swords, there's switch axes, sword and shield, let's see, charge axe, there's bows, there's a light bowgun, there's a heavy bowgun, and I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. Oh, hammers. There's hammers as well. So I think that's 10? 10 total different types of weapons, which is pretty sweet, and they all have their own unique upgrade tree. So let's go ahead and look at the different armors we can get now. And as you can see, I have some pretty awesome armor on, but this is the leather starter armor, and this is the chainmail starter armor. They're not, they're not the best set in the world, but as you start killing stuff, you can upgrade it, and there's some pretty interesting looking ones. Now, I really want to grind out this set, the Anja set. It gives you fire resistance, as well as being a rarity 3 set, which is pretty sweet. There's also this Lumu set, which just looks amazing. The Lumu itself is absolutely adorable. You'll have to look up a picture of that. We gotta look at the Palico sets, though, of course. So here's your starter set, and this is one of my favorite things about this game, is the Palico, and how you use it, and the armors for it, and everything. The Kulu's amazing. Alloy looks okay. I like Baroth, personally. This one's pretty cool as well, the Juria. I'm using the Kadachi on him right now. There's the Anja. It's also a rarity 3, and as you quick look at the Lumu, kind of had to edit out some other stuff. Now, this is exclusive to bowguns. There's a bunch of different upgrades you can throw on there, which are quite nice and do definitely affect how your bowgun handles. So next, let's go take a little look-see at where our character lives, basically. So this is the second tier of house. This is not your starter house. I quite like this one. I really love the atmosphere in this game overall. It's just absolutely amazing. Let's go take a little look at the aquarium. And apparently there's nothing in here. I don't know how to get fish in my aquarium yet. I'll figure it out, don't worry. Oh, so now let's go take a look at the item box. One of the most important things in any MMO is inventory management, and I think Monster Hunter does a pretty good job of it, honestly. As you can tell from the inputs down under this UI, I am playing with keyboard and mouse, which does mean there will be some jerkiness in the upcoming footage, and I do apologize for that, but yeah, that's fine. So let's go ahead and look at the equipment. This is up. Nope, yeah, we are going to look at equipment. This is a post-commentary, by the way, but as you can see, you have a bunch of different equipment slots. These mantles you unlock throughout the story, and they each do different things. You get them from quests. So I do equip the glider mantle, but unfortunately I forget to make use of it. Now I'm just kind of showing off some of the different weapons here. There are a lot of different weapons, and the models on them are pretty sweet. But I think we're going to be taking out our good old Sworn Rapier dual swords. I've fallen in love with these, I will say. But that's not what you guys want to see. Let's go hunting. Let us get to the hunting. However, before the hunting, there's one more thing we need to do here in Astera. And that is go get some food from the canteen. Now, food boosts your stats and is very good. You should always eat before heading out. And it comes with an epic cutscene. So I'll shut up and let you watch it. Doesn't that just look amazing? And I love how your Palico is eating in the background. You can name your Palico as well. I've named mine Belle because we have a cat named Belle that runs around our house up here, which is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So without any further ado, let's go hunting. Well, I say hunting, we're actually going on an expedition, and we're going to head to the Rotten Vale. This is part of a quest I need to do, so there should be some pretty spectacular cutscenes for you guys. This isn't the most beautiful area by any means, but it's not bad. One thing you should always make sure you do when you start out is check the supply box. Nothing in it this time, but it is what it is. Quick look at the map. I have been here briefly. I was just checking to see what kind of little creatures we might be looking at. And here we are. Welcome to the Rotten Vale. The cinematography is just spectacular. You get one of these cutscenes every time you enter a new area. I know this definitely isn't the prettiest area in the world, but it is still interesting for sure. So let's get right into it. Let's go exploring, shall we? We're going to hop down here, and immediately we're going to come across something we haven't seen before. Now, this is an integral part of Monster Hunter, is collecting these samples to track beasts, as well as collecting local fauna and wildlife and resources and whatnot. Very important. Now, we do come across more of those tracks, and as you can see, we have no idea what that is. Let's follow these scout flies down, and we get another cutscene. I wonder what this could be. Oh no, what is that? That is a Radoban, I believe is how you would say that. That's a Radoban. Which is, I'll be honest, it's kind of it's not the easiest fight in this game. It's not the toughest I've come against, but it's definitely not the easiest beast to take down. Look at that thing. It kind of just, wow. As you can see, like, the attention to detail on these monsters is absolutely fantastic. So my first thought here is like, nope, this is just an exploration mission. And then I read the quest objectives, and suddenly it's like, oh, I have to kill it. So we're going to engage. Now, I do apologize for the jerkiness of the camera during this part. Oh, and excuse me there. I am playing on PC, so whenever you move the mouse, the target changes. So there will be a little bit of jerkiness in this fight, like there. I do apologize in advance. But right now, I am just trying to get into a better position because this is my very first encounter with this guy. He does a lot of rolling attacks, and thinking about it, I kind of wish I'd brought a weapon with fire affinity. Oh, that's something else I forgot to mention during the Forge screen, is that every weapon, well, most weapons have a certain elemental affinity. As you can see here, every time our swords hit, they do water splash damage. But I think if I'd had a fire sword here, since this is everything, that monster's skin is covered in oil, I think a set of fire dual swords would have done much better. Now, as you can see, the monster has run off. We've done enough damage to make him run for the time being, so we need to go ahead and track him down. Little jump cut there to speed the process up. We're now approaching the monster's lair. And how you track monsters is you see those green things? Those are called scout flies. And once you get, you fill up that yellow bar, the scout flies will lead you directly to the monster. And you fill that yellow bar by picking up those traces of the monster. So here we are once again fighting the Radobaan. He does have some decent armor here, but as you can see, the cool thing about dual swords is they have some pretty epic combos, and your attack speed is just through the roof. I absolutely adore dual swords, although I'm quite fond of the heavy bowgun and the switch axe as well. I don't have any footage of either of those in this video, unfortunately, but bit of an unfortunate dodge there during the fight. And as you can see, this Radobaan, it favors its roll attacks. One of the cool things about the dual swords as well, I know I'm jumping around a little bit, is if you're moving forward while in demon mode, which is what this is, you use you hit control on the PC to basically switch your weapon's mode into just an attack beast. And if you hit right click while you're moving forward, your character does like a spinning attack into the enemy. But being in demon mode drains your stamina. So we're getting some stamina back now. We'll get a quick heal off. One thing about using items in Monster Hunter is that you can't actually have your weapons out. But here I do something pretty epic. As you can see, we jump up, slide down, and slice the monster's back. I wanted to slow that down because it happened so fast during the actual fight that I honestly, I was unsure what happened. And I believe that's a dual sword specialty. You can mount monsters by jumping down on top of them. Just the combat in this game is absolutely amazing. It's very well thought out, very dynamic, and it's fun. I really, really enjoy Monster Hunter World, and I would highly, highly recommend it. Anyone who is considering getting it, definitely get it. It is well worth it. So once again here against this Radobaan, we're going to just jump in and get smacked back. Now as you can see, we're stunned here. And on the PC, that means I have to spam WASD to get unstunned. I don't know what it is if you're using a controller, but on mouse and keyboard, that's what it is. And that was because we got smacked by that dude's chin attack, basically. Now as you'll see later on in the fight, I believe what causes that stun is the bones you can see on that monster's chin right there. I'm pretty sure that's what causes the stun. So as you can see, he hits us again here, and we once again have the stun, denoted by those two little stars right next to my name above the health bar. Now our Palico Belle is helping quite a bit during this fight, actually. She ends up running down and trying to aggro the monster, while I bail and heal. Now as you can see, there's that bar underneath my stamina, and that's the weapon sharpness. With dual swords, you really have to keep that in mind. So at this point, I'm just trying to deal as much damage as I can in a quick amount of time, just to try and make the monster flee so that I can get a chance to go ahead and resharpen my blades, which is definitely something you can do. Once again, we get hit by the chin smack there, and we get stunned again. This Radobaan is quite the annoying fight, I will say, but I can imagine it gets easier the more times you fought it, since this is the first time I've fought it. Now we gotta back off and heal before things get much worse. See, as you can see there, the Radobaan was going after our Palico, which is fantastic. Now, one of the ways you can avoid that chin smash against this monster is by being underneath it. And there we go. We've gone ahead and broken the bone on the front of his face, which I'm pretty sure means he can't stun us anymore with the chin attack. So as you do damage to parts on the monster, they get broken, obviously. And that's how you get crafting materials from the monster to make better weapons and armor. All of the good crafting materials come from killing large monsters like this Radobaan. As you can see there, he was rearing up for the chin attack, but I was able to do enough damage to his leg that we were able to get him down before he could get that off. Now, unfortunately, my combo does get interrupted by the armor on his leg there. We're going to have to break that at some point. But as you can see, that bar is now yellow, meaning my weapons aren't going to be as effective. So we're going to use the whetstone. We'll go ahead and get ourselves our weapon back up to full effectiveness. And of course, before we go and kill off the Radobon, I'm just going to run over here real quick and do some gathering. And I'm glad I did, because I found a crafting material that's exclusive to the Rotten Vale. So that was well worth the time. Gathering is well worth it in Monster Hunter, because you need a lot of the stuff you find throughout the world to build better weapons and gear. Now here, for some reason, I thought there were 2 of them, so I hesitated briefly, but it's just this dude again. I don't know what it was there. Like, the camera angle just looked super weird when I was jumping off. So once again, we're gonna engage. This guy is he's definitely getting a little weaker. We'll jump into demon mode, see if we can get a combo off. We get part of our combo off, but we do kind of get hip checked by him there. While he's rolling, we do manage to actually break something, which stops that roll. Now, we are far enough back that we don't get hit by that chin smash. But as we'll see here in a moment, I believe, I think it's pretty close. But not right here. But he hits us with the chin smash and we don't get stunned. As you can see, another piece of armor down there. That probably... Actually, that didn't do any damage even. Maybe it's the next one. I can't remember. At some point, that happened. So we did hit the armor plate a few times there with our heavy hitting combo. There is a pretty heavy hitting combo with dual swords. If you hit both your attack buttons at the same time, that's the combo. All right, right there. We definitely should have gotten stunned. So I think it was, I think it is the bones on his chin that caused the stun. Now here he's gonna go ahead and jump into a corner, which is not good for him. But it's really good for me, because we can just kind of dive in there and start doing massive amounts of damage. And he's going to trip on his tail with that roll. We've done enough damage that he's out of it to the point where he's tripping on his own tail. We do break some more parts off of his back there, which is ideal. We get that other leg plate. As you can see, he's taking quite a bit of damage. A lot of kind of scar tissue marking the areas we've been attacking heavily, which is good. That is definitely a good thing. That's one way to tell how a monster is. So once again, he is going to flee. We did a massive amount of damage in a pretty short amount of time there. So if you look at the minimap in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see the monster's symbol, and you see those skulls coming from it. That means he is almost dead. So that's another way to tell when a monster is about dead. So let's go ahead and chase him down and finish this off. We could have gathered that there, but I believe the scout fly level only stays like up to level 3 while you're hunting the monster. Now he does roar here, which stuns us briefly. I believe there's some gear that you can get that allows you to not get stunned by those roars. Once again, this dude trips on his own tail. Oh, this is at this point, it's just like, okay, whatever, you're done, man. And we are going to go ahead and cut your tail off, which is fantastic. That's another way to get more parts. A lot of monsters can have their tails cut off, which gives you another thing to carve. And you'll see what I mean by carving here in a moment once we kill this dude. And we're going to just activate demon mode and go in here. This guy's about down. Waste all of the stamina getting there so you don't get too many hits off in demon mode. Have to go back to normal almost immediately, but it's not too bad. One of the cool things about fighting on a hill is you can get some serious mobility going. You can start jumping around and sliding and stuff, which is really cool. The mobility in this game is pretty awesome overall, I would say. Now he's going to get a final good hit there, but that is going to do it right there. Radobon down. So what I meant by carving is carving this. This is carving. This is how you obtain the monster materials once you have killed it. You can also capture the monster if you want, and you get more materials, but it's kind of a pain in the ass if I'm going to be totally honest. It is kind of a pain in the ass. But, oh well. So we've completed one of 2 objectives here in the Rotten Vale for our little expedition. We are going to run back and carve his tail real quick and pick up another bit of monster material that fell off there. We broke quite a few parts, and I think I might have missed a couple more monster parts around, but yeah. So, after running around for quite some time, trying to find the Great Gyros, I came upon another Radobon. And my first thought here is just, no. Why? Nope. Just no. We're not engaging. So we just kind of make a hasty retreat there, head up this ramp, just to kind of get out of his line of sight. The more keen-eyed of you have probably realized that we've run a full circle by now, and what you're seeing here is the edited highlights. This took a lot longer than I'm willing to admit. A lot longer than it should have. So at this point, I kind of get fed up, I believe. Let's see, is it right? No, it's not right here. It's right up here. I get fed up and go ahead and tele back to base. We're going to go ahead and get our slide on, though, trying to find that Great Gyros, and I just cannot figure it out. Heading for that red X, but eventually I just get salty and tele back to base. Now, there is a cafe at these outposts, so you can eat up, and I did notice a message during that fight saying we could eat again. I think we still have the effects of the chef's platter. But after much searching, I do actually find where we're supposed to go. It is right up here. Right next to that Radobon we ran past earlier. Literally right where we were. Yeah, not my finest moment. But I didn't realize, like, you could jump down this. So here we go. And, yeah, welcome to the lower depths of the Rotten Vale. I decide suddenly it's a good idea. Let's go ahead and kill some of these little Gyros and see if we can get some information on them. And then, suddenly, 2 turns into 4, which turns into 6, which then turned into 8, which stunned me, Belle, and another Palico. That's another cool feature about this game, is you can actually run into other people's Palicos if you've exchanged guild cards while you're out on an expedition, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, this area is a little grody. It could definitely use some cleaning. Like I said, not the prettiest area in the world. We'll get a nice little drop attack here. It seemed like a good idea at the time to kill... Well, it is fine killing this guy, for the most part. But I think with these Gyros, when you kill one, it angers a bunch of them. Because I killed it, and then carved it, and as you can see, momentarily, our mini-map's about to flash red, and that means danger. And suddenly a bunch more show up. We're gonna run, grab some plants, see if we can find that Great Gyros, and ta-da! We found it. We'll get an up-close view of it in a minute. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm just gonna kill off a few of these guys and get out of here. Which is fine. This is totally gonna be fine. And then suddenly a few of them turns into about 10. And yeah. And then we get our health halved. And it's at this point, I don't know if I have a Nullberry in my inventory. I kind of doubt it. But it's at this point, I kind of enter panic mode and just start running. First thought is like, all right, cool. I'll just go to the wall where I came in. But wait, no, that's not climbable. Oh God, run away. We're taking constant damage being down here is part of the issue as well because of this noxious fume. So I see that Great Gyros, and I'm like, oh God, this is the only way out. So I'll follow him up there and get out of here. I very quickly realized that, no, this is not a way out. Now, that's the Great Gyros. It is a fire-type, fanged wyvern. All of the monsters you fight actually are classified as wyverns. I think that Radobon we fought last time would be classified as a brute wyvern. But I just take off in the other direction there, utterly terrified, still taking damage over time, still at half health. And then suddenly I see this shiny gathering spot. This is what happens when I play MMOs. I see these gathering spots and I'm like, ooh, shiny, what is that? So we're going to go ahead and pick up some underground fruit. I have no idea what these do. I will inform you when I figure that out. But at this point, I did go ahead and get out safely. And also at this point, we are going to go ahead and start to wrap this video up, because now that we've made it out safely, we can go ahead and end the expedition, meaning we're going to wrap the video up. So as always, I would like to thank you for tuning in and spending a little part of your day here. It is greatly appreciated. If you have enjoyed this episode of Suggestion Sunday, please do take a moment to drop a like down below, as it really does help the channel out. and subscribe for more diversified content in the future. If you would like to become a part of Suggestion Sunday, as in suggest games that I play on Sundays, as well as monetarily support the channel, please do take a moment to check out the Patreon. Link is in the description. And if you would like to join a growing community over on Discord, there is also a link to that down below. As always, my name is Ori. I do hope you have a fantastic day, and we will catch you in the next one.